Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 2026 SIG Showcase for Harvard Alumni for Global Women's Empowerment. My name is Barbara Barreno-Paschal, and I am proudly serving as president of Harvard Global We, Harvard Alumni for Global Women's Empowerment, or Global We. I'm really happy to be here today with everyone, and I'm really happy to see so many familiar faces as well as some new folks joining in. I would like to also introduce briefly fellow board colleagues that are here with me today. I have Rupal Thacker with us, as well as Aliza Makbul, Eric Day, sorry, Aria Escobar, and Leah Keen are board members that have been serving with us, and we are very pleased to be here and present this evening today. I'm going to share a presentation, and several of us will be speaking during the presentation. If at any point you have questions, please enter them in the chat, and our host will collect those questions, and at the end of the presentation, we will answer as many questions as we receive that you have about our SIG. So I'm going to start sharing my presentation now. And just make sure that everyone can see my presentation. If someone can give me a thumbs up, thank you very much, Ariette. So as I mentioned, we are Harvard Alumni for Global Women's Empowerment, or Global We for short. Our website is hglobalwe.org. And the point of today is to learn more about us, and hopefully you'll be inspired to volunteer with us or get more involved. The purpose of today is to talk about Global We and our mission, as well as give some examples of past programs we've held, as well as 2026 programs that we're excited about, and also share some ways that you can get involved with a Q&A after through the chat to our host. I will now turn it over to my board colleague, Aliza Makbul, our development chair, who will share more about what Global We is and what our mission is. So I'll turn it over to Aliza.
Hi, thank you, everybody. Sorry, I had to be unmuted. Welcome. We are Harvard Alumni for Global Women's Empowerment. Thank you, Barbara, for that introduction. I would like to talk about our mission. We are an organization dedicated to the empowerment of women through education, dialogue, and connection among individuals working for women's rights and freedoms worldwide. We are an award-winning organization. We were the 2020 winners of the Harvard Alumni Association's Club and Shared Interest Groups for Outstanding Alumni Community Award. We are a volunteer-led organization with 100% of our board members are all volunteers, are energetic student leaders, and of course, the rest of our volunteers. Nobody gets paid. We're very, very passionately run volunteer organization. And I would also like to tell you a little bit about our board. You just heard Barbara, our wonderful president, speak. We have an executive committee that's made up of our president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and our president emerita. Who's present with us? That's Leah Keen. Our secretary is Anika Gray. Our vice president is Arti Gupta. Treasurer, Melissa McHugh. I am the development chair. My name is Aliza Makbul. Our essay contest chairs are Richard Bildick and Julie Parmer, who's also our co-founder of the organization. Actually, she's the founder. And our external affairs chair is Gaia Vanderich. Marketing chair, who's present, Ariette Escobar. Our membership and volunteers chair is also here, Eric Day. And our programs chair, Rupal Thacker, is also present. Our strategy portfolio is led by Sajida Sharoff, also President Emerita. And our transformation chair, this is our new portfolio, is led by Rubina Jaffrey. I would like to now hand it over to our programs chair, Rupal Thacker, to talk a little bit about our the things that we do.
Thank you so much, Aliza. I'll give a very quick overview and kind of showcase some of our past programming. So as a SIG, we really foster dialogue and awareness across our membership, and we tend to focus largely on five themes: freedom from violence, health, education, political rights, and economic empowerment. So in terms of educating and raising awareness, as you can see, these are some panels that we've had in the past, and they range, from like widely from refugee issues, enslavement, Syrian refugee crisis, gender-based violence. We really tackle a lot of difficult issues, and we will hold panels and have discussion groups to really present perspectives that will help our membership understand these issues in more depth. On the next slide, you can just, there we go. We foster dialogue. This is something I think that makes us unique. It's not just about raising awareness and just presenting and kind of, one-way information flow. It's really about also allowing our members to talk about these things, within the networks, within our alumni circles. So we hold a fireside chat series where we can, we often have something that we're showcasing, but then the bulk of the event is really based around unpacking the content that has been presented and discussing and kind of sharing perspectives and reaching some shared understandings. We have discussion circles. We had one earlier this year. We really, once again, tackling a lot of difficult issues, just trying to frame the conversation with some expertise, but really seeing what our members think about the topics, especially because so many of them live or work within the women's empowerment sort of sector. And so I'll jump to the next slide. So the last thing we do here is foster connections. We want our members to really connect with each other. We do that through social meetups. Those could be in persons. We've often had SIG meetups on campus. We've connected during global networking nights, but a lot of our in-person connections, or sorry, a lot of our connection building is virtual. We have socials a couple of times a year. And once again, it's just about members getting to know each other and really connect around shared interests and shared themes. So I'll stop there and I'll turn it back to Barbara.
Thank you, Rupal. As you can see, we have a wide range of programming that we have offered over the past now 12 years of Global We, really going on 13 years. Global We was founded in 2013 as a SIG, and you're all here for a SIG showcase. Many of you may be members of or familiar with the Harvard clubs, but what makes the SIG special is that there is no geographic limitation. We can attract alumni from all over the world, and I'm sure many of you are from different parts of the world. That's what makes us special, and our Global We theme is about education, dialogue, and connection as we foster the idea of women's empowerment worldwide. In 2024, we commemorated our 10th anniversary as a SIG, and we are one of the oldest SIGs by having a number of really impactful events that many of which you can view on our YouTube channel. You could go to hglobalweek.org and go to it that way, or you can just look up Harvard Alumni for Global Women's Empowerment on YouTube. We had a retrospective panel which featured our founder, Julie Palmer, as well as advisory board members and other co-founders and early board members. We also had a 10th anniversary summit on Harvard's campus talking about innovations by and for women and innovating equality, talking about AI. And this was back in 2024. And as we know, AI is moving pretty quickly. We also had a 10K challenge, and there's some people in this audience today who were part of that 10K. Thank you for participating. That happened in September to October of 2024. And we also had a leadership and governance panel in March of 2024, as well as what we called a Movie Club Plus, where we invited the creators of the film Below the Belt, a documentary about endometriosis that was streamed on PBS and available widely, to come and speak about this impactful documentary. And that was just 1 year in commemorating the wonderful decade of Global We's existence. And now we're entering, as I mentioned, now our 13th year as a SIG. And you might be wondering, what are we up to next? But before I do that, I want to turn it over to Aliza Makbul, who will talk about two of our flagship initiatives with Global We.
Thank you, Barbara. So our Women's Empowerment Expo and our essay contest are, as our flagship initiatives. I would like to talk about the expo first. We have one coming up in April, both at Harvard University campus in person, and then the following week, you can attend it virtually via Zoom. We encourage our members to those, for whom Cambridge is accessible to attend in person. We have a bunch of organizations that attend every year. Every year we add new organizations. This year, we're going through almost 75 organizations that are involved in women's empowerment. And we bring them together. They make presentations about the work they do. We generate dialogue and connections to further the cause of women. And it is a very powerful event. Our program teams works tirelessly to put it together, and it's really rewarding to be there, very informative. And anybody who believes in the cause of women would definitely benefit from attending the expo, and they will leave with a lot of new knowledge and new connections. Our other flagship program is the essay contest, which is truly global. We have high school students from all over the world who submit essays on the topic, which is what is the biggest challenge facing women and girls in your country today? And this is a tremendous success. Again, this is a huge team. We have people who read the essays. We have contest managers in different countries. There are hundreds of essays to be read. It's a huge workload, but we do it all for the love of empowerment of girls and women everywhere. And you can also help us with that. Our volunteer opportunities is on our next slide, and I will let Rupal talk about that.
Thank you, Aliza. So I will just speak to a couple of things. Aliza already mentioned the Women's Empowerment Expo, so that's coming up in April. And in March, actually coming up very soon in early March on the 7th, we have an essay contest showcase. And this is really looking at insights of 10 years of this essay contest running. We have over 3,000 essays that have been collected from high school students across the globe. From many, many different countries. And the data and themes that have come up in these essays, the data has been analyzed, and we're really excited to showcase the topics, the themes, the insights that are coming out from, students and younger people around the biggest challenges from their perspective. So that's coming up. As Aliza mentioned, there are opportunities to volunteer to be a reader, but we'd love to invite you to join this upcoming event to really get a flavor for what the essay contest is all about and how it works and what kinds of voices we've been hearing over the past decade. We also have a movie club. We have a couple of discussion circles. We've got for the rest of the year, we've got almost an event a month planned between in-person roundtables or hybrid roundtables, which is the Alumni Student Roundtable that will be in October, virtual events, movie clubs, discussion circles, panels. So we have a really, really rich range of events that are upcoming. There are the 5 themes that I mentioned earlier. So a lot of diversity in our programming. Barbara, do you want to take it from here around volunteer opportunities?
At this time, thank you, Ripple. As you can see, there are a lot of really great opportunities to get involved. I would like to now introduce our membership and volunteers chair, Eric Day, to speak about the different ways that you can join us and help further the mission of global women's empowerment. Eric?
Thank you, Barbara. Once again, my name is Eric Day. I'm the membership and volunteers chair. There are various opportunities for our members to participate in serving with us, alongside us, as members of the Harvard community. And one of the primary areas where we have dozens of volunteers is the essay contest. And here's a website. We'll also have a QR code towards the end of the slides that allows you to link sign up for membership, as well as link you to various web pages that will show the other roles that are open currently. In particular, the essay contest, the marketing team, my team with membership and volunteers, and then the programming team. Can I have the next slide, please? And so if anyone has any questions, feel free. That's right. Membership is free, and we don't charge a membership fee. You just have to be an eligible alumni or be referred to join us by an existing member of the SIG. And there, I will, Barbara, next slide, please. If you guys have any questions that you currently would like us to address, please put it in the chat, and I will read it out for some of our board members to try and answer. If not, Barbara, can you give me is there another slide at the end? Okay. All right. Well, if not, I will put a couple of links here in the chat for you. This is one for to everyone in meeting. Here's the link to our volunteers positions, and then here is.
Yeah, Eric, real quick before we get to the Eric wants to share a QR code with everybody, but what I want to mention is that as you can see from our brief presentations, we know that people have things to do. We really want to convey the wide range of opportunities to get involved with Global We. We've been a SIG for now going on 13 years, as Rupal and Eliza and Eric described. There are a lot of different ways to showcase your talents and share with us your gifts, and that includes being a speaker and being a moderator. Rupal mentioned a suite of programs that we have held over the years, whether it's the expo or a discussion circle. If there is an issue relating to women's empowerment that you're passionate about, if there was something that drove you to come to this presentation tonight that you think Global We should be raising with the Harvard alumni community, please do reach out to us and share those ideas, because some of the best ideas come from our membership. There's someone here who came up with a great idea for a healthcare presentation that was held last June, and you can find it on YouTube. It was an excellent discussion, and that comes from our membership. And so if you're inspired by what you've seen tonight, please do reach out to Eric. He's going to put forth a QR code, and we'll also follow up with an email with details to how to get involved. Rupal, would you like to share a little bit more about how the programs team works and what you're looking for in terms of volunteers and who would be a great addition to your team?
Yeah, absolutely. The programs team, while we have a calendar of events for the year, we're actually actively looking for member insights. And so the calendar has some placeholder events, but every time we have an event, we ask folks what they want to talk about or what they want to hear about. And then we co-create those events with them. So, we've been getting some wonderful, wonderful insights around. We just had an event in January on the impact of aid cuts on women and girls across the globe, and whether that was gender-based violence, whether that was health cuts. We had a really rich discussion because somebody asked in one of our earlier programs that, what's happened a year after a lot of the aid has been cut. So we're always looking for ideas. We're always looking for suggestions. If you've got leads on the kinds of people who could speak to a particular topic, we'd love to hear that. And we would love to then pull together an event with your support. The programs team it's a very collaborative group of people. We work together. We typically have an event lead who just kind of runs with the idea. So, volunteers don't need to attend every meeting for the whole year. It's just pick an event, pick a thing you want to be involved in, or pick an aspect of the event that you want to be involved in. Do you want to be part of the marketing? Do you want to be part of the agenda setting? Do you want to write up the script? You can just kind of pick a little piece based on your availability. And then we roll out these events. As I mentioned, we're trying to target one a month. We're also very open to collaborations with other Harvard clubs and SIGs to really amplify what they're doing or to help them hold programming around questions or topics of women's empowerment, and girls' empowerment. So lots of possibilities to engage with us, depending on how much or how little you wish to lean in. So I'll stop there, and I can see that Eric's put some of the links in the chat around how to connect with us. And I believe the membership form also has like a question around, would you like to be involved beyond just being a member? And then you can specify the kind of involvement that you'd like to do, and then we follow up with you. Thanks.
Thank you, Rupal. I also wanted to mention our development and marketing portfolios. You heard from Elisa Makbul, who is our development chair, and we are really excited this year to continue to expand our organization through different types of sponsorship and other opportunities so that we can make events that Rupal has described happen. Increasingly, we want to have more events in person, regionally, as well as on Harvard's campus. And one of the new programs, I should have mentioned this earlier, one of the new programs we have is a mentoring program, which we launched last fall with Harvard College students. We are hoping to expand the program this year. So for those of you who are not members yet, we're going to put a QR code shortly to become a member, and you can definitely sign up for this program. It's a great way to connect with Harvard College students. You do not need to graduated from the college to participate in the program, and it's been a wonderful addition to our suite of programs so far. And so if you join our mailing list or if you already are on our list, we'll be sending information out pretty soon actually to set up the next cohort of mentors and mentees. That program is very exciting and it's a great way for us to connect with our students. Elisa, if you would be interested in sharing generally kind of what are opportunities that people can do to help support Global We as we expand our capabilities and try to attract more donors and supporters of the work, especially as it relates to our essay contests and our winners, and then some of the convenings that Rupal's team is organizing.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Barbara. I just want to say that, as you know, we presented that we are a volunteer-led organization, but there are a lot of behind-the-scenes costs when we host programs, when we, invite speakers. Although we don't pay our speakers, it's been our policy, but to bring you more quality programming, we want to reach that level of financial stability where we are able to offer our speakers money if it comes to that. There are programs in the works that we want to create sponsorship and other things scholars, things for scholarships for girls, I beg your pardon, to be able to either attend one of our events or support them in their education. And those are things that will only be possible with the donations from members and sponsors. So if you work for an organization that likes to donate to women's causes, if you want to make a personal donation, all donations to Harvard Global We are tax deductible, and we would appreciate any amount, big or small. You can go to our website and make a donation. We did an end of the year campaign, which was successful. And please reach out to me at development@hglobalwe.org if you have questions or would like to make a donation, would like to host an event. And, with your sponsorship, we would appreciate any of those efforts. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elisa. And as you can see, Eric has put this QR code in the chat. If you, for some reason, are not able to access that right now, please send Eric a message and we can share it on the screen before we conclude the SIG showcase. Before we do that, though, thank you very much, Elisa, for sharing those opportunities and the call for support. I'd like to ask our President Emerita, Leah Keene, to talk about what does it mean to volunteer at the essay contest? What are the different ways to get involved as a reader, as a manager, and helping organize programs like the one that's coming up on March 7th. So I will turn it over to Elisa or Leah Keene, and then also we'll talk about our marketing. But first, Leah.
Hi there, everybody. I work closely with the essay contest team. None of our co-chairs could be here today. I actually manage anywhere from 6 to 10 contests in the Philippines, where I'm from. I started with a contest in my own high school and then made connections, and other teachers connected me to other schools. And it's been very interesting to see the range of topics that the students choose and how they've evolved. So I will say right now that just the topics are fascinating, and they draw you in, and you learn so much about the different countries. So that's one thing I do as a manager. You would coordinate with school teachers or school administrators in different countries or different states here, and give them the materials and the backup that they need to be able to share the contest with their students. And then the next step is, I find readers, and that's another role that you can take. We have a rubric developed by Sajid Ashraf, who was our second president of Global We, that tells you how to score the different what we look for in the different essays. So it's pretty straightforward. We have a scoring sheet that will tabulate. You do the ratings and it calculates the final score for you. So that we have a whole system. This is a well-established program, very organized, very robust. Um, and then finally, if you're willing to take on any of those roles, please join. That's one of the volunteer opportunities that we have set up there on our website that you can just sign up for. And I will encourage you also to sign up for the program featuring the essay contest that's happening on March 7th. Rupal talked about the data analysis that's happening. We will have speakers from all those groups that I talked about. We will have winners of the contest. And I think we have 4 or 5 winners who will be speaking um, about what it was like and how it's impacted their lives. We will have readers who've read maybe just for 2 years, some of them for 10 years, and why they keep doing it. And of course, contest managers. And I'm actually having one of my school teachers stay up really late for her to join us, and she'll be speaking about what it's like bringing the contest to her students. So it's just a really nice way to engage with young people and to raise their voices, help them raise their voices, because they're the future. If we want women's empowerment to have a solid foothold in our world, in our society, we need to make sure that our young people are engaged with this, and will continue doing this work after us. I think that's it. But yeah, any questions, please shoot them to Eric, and I hope to see many of you on March 7th.
Thank you, Leah. That was an excellent reminder that we have so many wonderful people who are part of this essay contest team. It really spans the globe, and the number of students who participate is remarkable. And some of the students go on to attend Harvard. In fact, there's a Rhodes Scholar Fajr Khan, who is a senior at Harvard College, who won the essay contest, I believe, from Pakistan, or yes. So we have great examples of what the essay contest means and how it connects to the university. I would now like to introduce Ariette Escobar, who can share somewhat, Ariette, however much you'd like to share about your work with the marketing team, maybe describe the team and what opportunities there might be for people to join in that capacity. Ariette.
Sure. Welcome, everyone. I'm excited that you guys are here. For marketing, we're doing great, exciting things. We're using social media to market. We're doing the website. We're constantly looking for different ways to get the word out there and advertise our wonderful programs. We work very closely with the programs team. And one thing that I don't know if we've mentioned yet is that it doesn't matter where you are in the world, there is a place for you. So I'm thinking even of my own marketing team now, the people that I have people that are in different time zones and different countries, and we make it work seamlessly. I think we are very good at that. We have a lot of experience, and even our own board, we have people out in Dubai, we have California, Massachusetts. I mean, just we've worked with people in Japan. Anywhere that you can think of, we can make it work. So if you're interested in marketing, please come along, join us. I'm excited to talk about people that have fresh new ideas. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Ariette. As you can see, there are numerous opportunities to get involved. And if there's something you haven't heard tonight that you think would be interesting or that you want to add to what we do with Global We, definitely reach out to Eric and share that perspective of what you can bring to our community. Before we wrap up today, I want to answer a question. There was one question, and please feel free if you have any more questions, share them with Eric. The question was, why not charge for membership to ensure necessary financing for speakers? And what we do, to clarify on that point, for certain events, we do charge a nominal fee just because we want people to have some impetus or some incentive to attend. Otherwise, like tonight, there are a lot of people who register for events like this and don't always attend for one reason or another. So for certain events like the expo in the past, we have asked people, it's more of a suggested donation to contribute to the producing of the expo, right? To getting things going, to the making of it, if you will. For the speakers, though, that is something that we are hoping to get to a point as we grow as a SIG where we can attract a level of a speaker that would charge an honorarium that we would be able to pay. But we, at this time, we're still growing as a SIG, and it's an organic level of growth where we get members every year, but we want to maintain that accessibility that makes it so easy for any member in the Harvard community, whether it's student, alumni, faculty, other university member, to be able to contribute in their own way without having to pay for events. There are other SIGs that do charge for every event, and there are reasons for that. So we might get there, but for some main signature events, we do a suggested donation. And we also have been very successful with requesting donations from generous members of the Harvard alumni community, and we always welcome whatever people are able to donate to us. Let's see, are there any other questions today? Expected number of hours. All right, so if you are interested, if you like what you heard today, you can volunteer for as little as 1 hour a week or 4 hours a month, right? Or you could volunteer for as much as 10 hours a week, whatever it is that your heart desires with volunteering. I would say on average anywhere from 2 to 5 hours a month. If you really want to get involved, then that increases, but it's really not a heavy lift. The essay contest can be unique because it might be a heavier lift for a shorter period of time, like 10 hours or something like that. In fact, Leah, would you like to speak generally on what an average time commitment might be to read for an essay contest, an average size essay contest?
Average size. Okay. This year I had contests that ranged from like 4 to 8 entries, and then I had one contest that had 150 entries. So usually it's more on the lower end, but you will have a whole range depending on what country you're in. Turkey, our co-chair Recep has 40 schools, I think, in Turkey that participate with probably a dozen to 20 essays from each school. Now, like I told you, you have a rubric to follow. You have a score sheet that's going to calculate it. So it's up to you. You say when you are asked if you're interested, they will tell you, I would tell you the number of essays there are. And so I would say people would, for a dozen to 20 essays, it's a couple of hours probably to read through and score. And the more you do it, the faster you get. You know, what I tell people when they're reading for the first time, read 3 or 4 essays so you get a sense of what the levels are for these students. The students only compete with their own classmates because we do acknowledge that there's a disparity in facility with English. All the essays are written in English on different levels of schools. I know it's something I'm working on in the Philippines between public and private schools or more provincial schools. The facility sometimes, you know what, we're not going to the grammar isn't going to matter so much because we know that this is a second language for a lot of people. So you will get a lot of guidance in how to score, what we're looking for. And if you have more time to devote, I have a team of scorers who have done this so long. So they, for 2 or 3 years now, that school that does 100 to 150 essays, we have 2 levels of scoring and we've got a system going. So no, I'm the only one who reads all 150, but they will only, we narrow it down and we'll only read 20 to 30 as the finalists, and those are the ones who will score for the contest, like a typical contest. So yeah, and those volunteers, since we do 2 rounds, they probably do a total of 5 to 6 hours of scoring, and you will build up the skill for assessing quickly. And yeah, and then and you will also learn to, like I say, weigh the thought, sometimes the themes more than the grammar or the structure. There's a lot of flexibility. And it's just really, really interesting. And I often have to remind myself I should read essays from other countries sometimes. I get so stuck into my Philippine essays. And you have that opportunity. You can select. You can read for the same country and get a sense of that country, or you can read different countries and get the variety.
Thank you, Leah. I have those question out there that I would like to answer for the board. The question was, how many members do we have? And so I wanted to share with everyone on this call, in terms of registered membership, we have about 1,500 to 1,600 alumni in our organization. However, only about 200 are active at this moment. This is a membership that we've accumulated over the course of 12 plus years since the SIG was founded. And so, we're not a very big organization, and hence collecting a fee isn't as for our events isn't the we don't believe it's the main objective. Through donations, we think we get the most support to be able to support the organizations that we try to expo and the speakers that we try to invite. So, and then one last shout out for volunteering with other teams outside of the essay contest. Our essay contest is our flagship programming. That's what, when the SIG was founded, that was the primary, but we've also expanded our programming team to be quite critical to the organization. So we are always looking for volunteers and help with ideas and organization of putting programming together. So back to you, Barbara, to wrap us up.
Thank you, Eric. I do want to ask if Rupal, would you like to share any feedback about the time commitment for your team or what you're envisioning for new people to be onboarded and be part of the team?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's very much what you said earlier, Barbara. It could be an hour, it could be 5, it could be 20. It just sort of depends how much you want to lean in, what your availability is, and what you'd like to do. It's the kind of, I think I would distinguish it from the essay contest workload and time commitment, because when you're reading the essays, it's kind of looking at the same, the question is the same across all the essays. But when you're working with the programs team, you're kind of doing different things. So it also depends on what's your interest. Yeah, we've had folks come in and just help us with one quick event, bring in a speaker and, just organize one panel. And then we've got people who are there for every single event and are very excited to champion multiple events. So I think it's a huge range. And, we often, when we do get programs team volunteers, we often start with just an orientation and a question of what are you interested in, how much can you commit? Because then we can build around their availability, including are there times of year that are better for you or not better for you, and then we can kind of work from there. So very flexible.
And there's a
Thank you.
range. I was going to say there's a range of tasks. I work with RuPaul on programs too. In fact, I'm championing the essay contest
Yeah.
program. So yeah, you can be doing emails, you can be researching organizations for the expo, you can be holding, preparatory meetings, you can set up follow-up emails, you can be doing research. There are lots of steps, and they can be asynchronous, they can be during the meetings. So it's really there. And my final plug, if I hand it back to Barbara, is that this is a great community to be part of. You see us all nodding at. We enjoy each other, and I would love to have more of you join us. We have a lot of fun. We get to know each other very well. We rely on each other. We have our titles. We work on everything. Everybody jumps in on everything, and it makes it really fun, and keeps us joyful, I think, in this work that we've dedicated ourselves to. So over to you, Barbara.
Well, that's an excellent point to conclude on, Leah. Thank you. And I want to thank everyone who joined us today for the SIG Showcase. Thank our board members and volunteers. As you've heard, there are many opportunities to get involved, and I would encourage you to reach out to Eric We will be sending an email with some of the links that were shared in this chat, as well as the QR code. So please feel free when you get that email to click on that. And if you are already involved, reach out and suggest a new topic or a new program, and Rupal and our team will follow up. Or if you want to help with marketing or the essay contest or membership, Eric's always looking for people to support our membership efforts and development as well. So I want to thank everybody for your time and hope you all have a great rest of your day, and hope to see you on March 7th and at future programs. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.